What is good with y'all? It's your boy Chris, and we're back on Spurs Spotlight with another banger.
Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
Alright team, today we have some sad news. I hate to bring the bad news, but the Spurs have renounced the rights to Don Barlow. We already knew that one. Mamu, Chetty Osman, and David Duke Jr. And they waived Charles Bassey. This was expected, Chris Paul signing and the Harrison Barnes trade kind of forced their hands. They were forced to do it because if they didn't, they wouldn't have had the cap to hold on to Harrison Barnes and give Chris Paul his 11 mil, which they agreed to. So yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean, this doesn't mean the end for some of them. Like Chetty Osman, I think he's gone. You don't need Harrison Barnes and Chetty Osman. Duke Jr., I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like they like Duke Jr., but I don't really know much about him. Barlow, he could come back, but then again, he could go somewhere else. I'm not too sure. Mamu, I think, has the best chance of being brought back. I just have a feeling also because they extended the qualifying offer to him at first, and then after the moves went down, then they had to pull it. Not so much for Barlow because they renounced his rights a long time ago. I just think he wants to go elsewhere and try to get a bag elsewhere. Be on the lookout for Mamu coming back. I hope he's coming back. He's a good piece to the team, and he could really be someone to play that backup power forward. Yeah, we don't really have a backup power forward when you look at it. Maybe Sohan or Harrison Barnes could kind of do that, but you kind of want a true power forward, and I think Mamu would be the best power forward, and I think Wemby really likes Mamu a lot. They have kind of a connection, so I think it'd be Wemby's decision to bring him back if he had to pick between any of these guys. But we do have some good news, man. Shout out Harrison Barnes. This is beautiful work from the Spurs legend Harrison Barnes. Look, guys, whenever I say Spurs legend, and they're obviously not a Spurs legend, it's a joke. I know someone commented that Devontae Graham's not a Spurs legend. I know that, but it's just a joke. Like, Spurs legend Harrison Barnes in this case waived his trade kicker, allowing the Spurs to keep Julian Champagnie and sign Chris Paul into cap space. Hey, shout out, bro. Y'all go give him a follow on Twitter if y'all haven't. Shout out him for the tweet. Yeah, he waived his trade kicker. If you don't know what a trade kicker is, basically with the new CBA, when you trade a player, I don't know if it goes for every player, but when they traded Harrison Barnes, it upped his salary a little bit, and that was going to force them to waive Julian Champagnie, and they might have not had enough money to sign Chris Paul in the cap. He might have had to take some less money, or we're going to have to choose between one of the two, something like that. Yeah, he waived his trade kicker, so the Spurs didn't have to get rid of Champagnie, and we could have signed Chris Paul. This was a great move from Harrison Barnes, a selfless move. He took less money to keep the team a little bit more intact, and we didn't have to get rid of Champagnie along with the other players. Granted, I think we could get the other players back on a smaller contract, which I don't know if that's even possible because I'm pretty sure Mamu was making close to the minimum. I don't really know how that all works. Looking at the 10-man lineup right here, we got CP3 with Trey Jones backing him up. We got Devo with Castle backing him up. Harrison Barnes, Champagnie backing him up, which if he didn't waive his trade kicker, Champagnie was going to be gone. So shout out to Harrison Barnes. And then we got Sohan and Keldon backing him up. Wemby, Zach Collins backing him up. I don't like Zach Collins on this roster. I do think we're going to keep him for this season because as we get closer to the season, I feel like we are wanting to lose a little bit to get a good draft pick. We don't want to make the playoffs. That's what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is the Spurs want to do a little play-in push, maybe get that last spot, but it won't be the end of the world if we don't make the play-in. I think they still want to get that good 2025 pick to add to the core. Like, this is what I'm talking about. You have two guards. Granted, Castle is 6'6". He's pretty big. No diddy. Champagnie's like 6'7". Keldon is 6'5". You don't really have a backup power forward. That's why I'm thinking you could bring Mamu back and add a little bit more rim protection. Not saying Mamu's a good rim protector because he's really there's nothing that stands out about his rim protection. But really having Zach Collins and Keldon Johnson as your front court right here, you're going to get eaten alive by people attacking the rim. And they have it on the scouting report. We saw it last year when they leaked the scouting report with the Mavs. They have Zach Collins as an elephant. Like, when he's in the game, you attack the paint. You don't settle for jump shots. You attack the paint. And we saw this all last season. But maybe with this defense back here, you have Champagne. I think he's pretty good at defense. He's solid. He's not great, but he's solid. Castle's the point of attack defender and can lead this group. Keldon's not good. Zach Collins is not good, and Trey Jones is all right. Yeah, Castle would have to carry this defensive. Castle and Champagne would have to do most of the defensive work on this lineup. But then again, you can mix and match the lineups and add something with maybe a little bit more defense. Maybe put Keldon right here at the small forward. Put Harrison Barnes at this power forward, and then run Sohan with this lineup to aid in the defense. But yeah, this is a pretty good lineup, man. I'm not angry at it. Maybe we could bring Bassey back on a smaller contract too. So that's not out of the realm of possibility either. Bassey, Mamu, maybe both of them. I like that. I like both of them. So we could have that defensive big man along with Mamu. Just hopefully he could stay healthy because he hasn't been able to the past few years. I just wanted to let y'all boys know. Y'all give me a follow on Twitter. Send me news. Make sure to join the Spurs Spotlight Discord. We're still in here. I put the link in the description. Put the link at the top of the comment. But other than that, it's been your boy Chris here on Spurs Spotlight, and I'm out. Peace.